We welcome you to today's show. We ask those of you who haven't subscribed to please subscribe to our YouTube channel as we continue to expose the satanic, Zionist Illuminati that control our reality. Today, we're going to talk about Adele and her allegiance to the occult, her allegiance to the Illuminati, and the symbolism in her song Hello. Now, there'll be a lot of people who stumble upon this video who are looking for the song Hello, or might have an inclination that this is an Illuminati-produced artist, who are going to be defensive of her. We ask you to just try to separate from it. Stop worshiping these people. Ask yourself, do you know Adele? Do you know Jay-Z? Do you know any of these musicians that you're a fan of? Of course you don't. But this is human nature now. People defend these people as if they know them because they're a fan of this specific artist and they feel like they're on that team and they're a part of it and that they're a part of something. And of course they like their witchcraft songs that they produce. But they have to understand, we all have to understand that these people are force-fed to us. They are not here randomly. Adele didn't just make a song in her basement, go to a record label and they say, this is the greatest song ever, and then the radio stations pump it out, pump it out, pump it out. They create these songs, they use backmasking, they use lyrics telling us of what's going to go on, and they push it down our throats. This is another one of those songs that the Illuminati continue to force-feed us. This song isn't going away anytime soon. Her video has over 1 billion views on YouTube. 1 billion views. So you need to separate from that. You need to realize that it's not a coincidence. These people don't just make a great hit song and become famous. They choose it, they produce it, and then they pump it out and they beat it into your head. Okay? Now, if you've noticed recently, there's tons of covers going on for this song, which is another telltale sign that this is an Illuminati-produced song, which we already know she's Illuminati. She's showing us in these pictures of her with the one eye revealed, the all-seeing eye. Okay? But there's songs like U2, the song One, has been covered by dozens of bands. Dozens. Is it a great song? Absolutely not. Why? Because they're pushing one. They're pushing it everywhere in our face now, continually, one. Because they want us all to be one. And people say, well, what's wrong with that? They want us to be one because they want us to be under one world rule and one world government as they ushered in the Antichrist. Okay, that's why almost every musician has a song called One. It is to, they're conditioning your brain into accepting the Antichrist when he comes, to accepting a one world government. It is no different with Hello, because the artists are now covering it left and right. And even though it's a brand new song, there's covers all over the internet by famous rappers. They're trying to get it in every channel. So they have rap artists doing it, they have country music people doing it, they have classical composers doing it. The song Hello isn't about, hello, I'd like to meet you, I've been watching from afar. It's about, hello, Satan. It's about, hello to the Antichrist, who's coming. Okay? And we're going to get into that. We're going to play some backmasking for you where you can hear it. But it's important to cover reverse speech and how important that is to the Illuminati and the occult. People think backmasking is a crazy conspiracy. That, you know, people just play the songs backwards and try to find whatever they can to make a conspiracy theory. In reality, the brain processes things backwards and frontwards. It can hear something backwards and still pick it up. Now, on a conscious level, you might not be able to understand what you're hearing, but your brain understands it and it processes it and it stores it. On a conscious level, you might not have a clue. You might just hear blah, 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 blah. Okay? And you're not going to be able to go, oh, all that blah, blah, blah means this frontwards. But your brain processes it. It hears it in both directions and it stores this. Now, it's important to talk about Aleister Crowley. If you don't know who he is, he was the man who claimed to be the B666. He's a real, true scumbag. Okay, and most of these musicians and actors worship him and his books on black magic. He is the master of all of these things. He is an icon to these people. Crowley talks a lot about the importance of the law of reversal. Okay? He talks about the law of reversal. He also talks about, in his books, about how to attain certain levels of black magic, that the best way to do it is through sex magic. which is performing these magical spells during sexual acts. And he says the best power to get is while having sex with a young boy. This is what they talk about. These people are worshiping him, wearing his shirt. Jay-Z wearing his shirt. Do what thou wilt. Crowley's famous quote. These musicians read his books and worship him. Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin purchased his home where he did these rituals. Okay? Crowley talking about sex with kids. If you're not even a Christian and you're listening to this, are you okay with that? Of course you're not. But these are the people that are doing these child kidnappings and sexual assaults. These people who follow Crowley, these Satanists who run our world. Now, not to get off track and talk about that, the sex trafficking that these people do. We'll stay on track here and talk about the law of reversal. Okay? Crowley talks and taught many of his students that those who want fame, power, spellcasting abilities, demons at their beckon, to recognize the Godhead within, and to know everything past, present, and future. He also constantly talks about practicing speaking in reverse, walking, thinking, and playing messages in their heads backwards, talking themselves in their head backwards. The Bible warns about this. The Bible warns us about these things and about how dangerous magic is. But Crowley taught adamantly about the law of reversal. So these singers started doing backmasking in their song because they knew your brain was going to pick up these lyrics. You'd never be able to catch them, you'd never be able to call them out on it, even though in the beginning people were calling out the Beatles and they were calling out Led Zeppelin. I mean, take a listen here. This is Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. Right? People think he's talking about going to heaven. In reverse, he's talking about worshiping the beast 666. We'll play a little clip here. Take a listen. I mean, if that's not blatantly obvious, okay, it's not a coincidence either. And don't say that, well, your mind hears what you want to hear, but I don't hear that. It's blatantly obvious, and it's right there. And is it a coincidence that Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin bought Crowley's house, the house where he did all these wicked satanic spells and practiced child pedophilia and murder and killing of animals and all of these demonic rituals? It must be a coincidence that in Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, that these lyrics can be found in backwards, talking about worshiping of the beast. Jimmy Page goes and buys Aleister Crowley's home. Aleister Crowley, the man who claims to be the beast himself, 666. But they don't worship the beast. They don't worship the devil. It's a coincidence. Exactly. Right. Come on, people. Here's another example. Jay-Z wearing Crowley's shirt that says, do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt. Okay, listen to this backmass song of Jay-Z's. Murder, Jesus. Murder, Jesus. I mean, if that doesn't make you angry as a Christian, I want to do something about it. I don't know what will. Now let's get back to Adele, okay? We didn't want to go off track there, but we're showing you examples of backmasking because all of these musicians do backmasking. And Adele here, you can hear her say, hello, Satan, hello, Satan. You can clearly hear her say that. Okay, now the video isn't loaded with occult symbolism. There's some, but it's not loaded with it. Because this song is, not only is it popular in America and Britain, it's a worldwide phenomenon. And this is the song, they're pumping it in every culture, everywhere. Okay, because this is the song to usher in the Antichrist. This is it. That's why everyone's covering this song. That's why everyone seems to be in love with the song. Men, women, everyone. They have men covering the song. I mean, listen to the lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are openly, she's admitting, hello to say, she says, hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet, to go over everything. They say that time's supposed to heal you, but I ain't done much healing. She's saying she hasn't healed. She hasn't done any healing. Okay, and she's had enough, and she's coming over, and she's crossing over to the other side. Okay? She's crossing over to Satanism. Don't believe me? Hello, from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done, but when I called, you never seemed to be home. This is her speaking to Yahweh, speaking to God, to Jesus. She's saying, hello now from the other side. She's saying, every time I called, you never listened. You were never home. Because that's how the Satanists feel. They feel like God betrayed us. He left us here, and he made all these strict rules that were too hard for us to live by, and he betrayed Satan by throwing him out of heaven. That's how they feel. They are angry at God. As is Satan, God's enemy. And now they're on his side. It's right there. It's right in the lyrics. She's not talking about some random boyfriend. People need to get past this. Every song is about a breakup, about a husband, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or some kind of a breakup and love. That's what every song is about. They're not talking about a breakup between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. They're talking about the breakup. They're talking about God and the devil, the two opposing sides. That's what they're talking about. Of course, if you're not Christian, you're going to think something like this is just out of the realm of possibility, because you're naive and you're playing along right into their hands because they've tricked your soul to not believing in Christ. But if you are Christian, you have to understand. Just look at the album. Look at the pictures. Adele with the hand over the eye. All the artists do that. That's their way of letting each other know that they're in, that they're a part of it. They're all a part of it, and they're letting you know, and they're rubbing it in your face. They don't care about you. Stop caring about them. Stop giving them power. We're giving them power by worshiping their music, by clapping when they appear in a room, by crying when we see these people. It's sick. The false idol worship is sick. You need to get back to worshiping Christ. He's the only one you should look up to, the only one you should admire. He died for your sins. What did these people do? They took money out of your pocket and caused you to be obsessed with them. Oh, I'm sure Adele's music comforts you. It's a spell. It is witchcraft, period. Laugh all you want if you're somebody who thinks that there's no such thing as witchcraft. 100 years ago, people were still getting hung on trees for practicing witchcraft and the occult. Are those stories made up? No. Oh, all of a sudden witches got together and said, you know what? Let's give up witchcraft because I don't want to get hung. Obviously, witchcraft works because they practiced it for centuries, going back to ancient Egypt. Okay? All of these people practice it. So obviously, it worked for them. And they saw results, and they saw things happen that were supernatural. Okay? Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. They would just say, well, this didn't work. What's next? Okay, so clearly it works. Jesus warns about it. He warns about magic and these people and what they're going to be doing. Okay, so 100 years ago, while magic was still working and Christians were casting them out, they didn't just get together as a group somewhere in the woods and say, let's stop practicing witchcraft because I don't want to die. They said, what can we do? We have to think of something. Well, let's hide. We're going to hide it from everyone, first of all. And we're going to put it in the music. And we're going to put the world under a spell. And we're going to get in positions of power. And we're going to run everything. And that's how this matrix that we live in works. The world is thousands of years old. Only the last 100 years has it been like this, where you work 40, 45 hours a week doing something pointless, sitting at a desk doing nothing. When God talks about work in the Bible, he's talking about harvesting. He's talking about finding firewood to keep your home warm, building a home. He's talking about stuff like that. He's not talking about answering cold calls or sales calls. That's not work. It's slavery to them. Slavery to the system. You are in slavery. It's slavery over the mind and over the soul. They are taking your time here on earth away. Adele, Jay-Z, all of these people are a part of it. Okay? They're not there randomly. They aren't, oh, they're so talented and we're not. They're positioning. They want you to think that. As they cast these spells on us with backmasking, with just the basic lyrics in the song, with this idol worship that we all seem to have over these musicians or these actors. Ooh, where was Brad Pitt vacationing this weekend? Find out after the commercial. Who gives a shit where Brad Pitt was vacationing? Who cares? People seem to. Christians seem to. And then they go, well, wait, no, I'm not really worshiping it. I mean, I'm just watching it. Every minute that you take away from Christ and put into caring about these people and idolizing people and not helping your fellow man, you're wasting. We all have to get back and right with Christ. We all have to repent, but we have to see these signs. We have to expose these people. It's our job as Christians to expose these people because the youth of America is under complete hypnosis. Look at these people. They don't know what's going on. They don't even know who Christ is. They are worshiping these people, wanting these jobs that aren't attainable. You're not becoming an actor or a musician and making money unless you're in the occult. Period. I don't care how great you are in your student films or your student plays or what great writing that you've done. If you're not in the occult and you're not pushing the propaganda that they want you to push, you're not making it anywhere. If the script doesn't have the same message in every movie, which they push over and over, false alien attacks, lust, all this crap that they push. That's why there's no new films, there's no new ideas, because they won't allow there to be new ideas. Even the indie films, they control them. Wake up. Stop worshiping these people. We ask those of you who have not subscribed to please subscribe to our channel. We ask everyone to remember that the Lord rejoices in repentant hearts. Jesus Christ is Lord. He is King. He is the only way and the only truth. We wish blessings on you and your families. God bless you. Peace be with you.